Mortal Kombat has already faced a lot of backlash, and rightfully so, with Mortal Kombat 11 and what they've done with their female characters, especially just making them a lot more boring, taking away a lot of their feminine appeal. But they've done it again, and this time we've seen the most egregious case. The worst make under. Shield your eyes. I know you probably already saw my thumbnail, so I apologize for subjecting you to that. But when the Mortal Kombat 1 trailer originally dropped, I was like, hey, you know what? This actually might look pretty good. Maybe it'll be good. Should have known better. Should have known, especially after what happened with Mortal Kombat 11. But for some reason, I was feeling optimistic. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the video. Now, first, I want to highlight this tweet that I made because I already know the haters are preemptively going to leave these comments so let me just read this and then address it. So I said, people who like female video game characters to look pretty and feminine and male characters to look handsome and masculine are not the same as Coomer brain degenerates. They lump us all together to gaslight us. Wanting characters to be attractive is not corn or even close. I feel it's important to preface with this because so often when we talk about a female character being ruined, her or being made to look more plain and not as feminine, not as beautiful, we're often told we are degenerates. And it's the irony here is the people who say this are usually these people with furry avatars who are looking at some of the most degen corn imaginable. It's just weird. But no, not only that, but even people, there are some Coomer brain degenerates that want every character in video games to look pornographic, and it's a different thing for them. It's like a degen thing. So I do not associate this with that. And I think the majority of people are not in that bracket. Okay. Wanting a character to be good to look at, to look good, does not equate to that. I don't, any of the characters that I like and that I think are pretty or handsome, I don't search for Rule 34 content on them. I don't want to see pornographic images of them. That's just weird and gross to me. It's like, get a life, man. But anyway, now that I've prefaced with that, let's go ahead and dive into the actual video here and show what they've done to this poor woman. So for some reason, this tweet is trying to prop this up as a glow up. The delusion, completely delulu about this. Anybody... I just feel like they're lying. I just do. Anybody who says this is a glow up is lying. Now you might say, oh, she looks more realistic, but to say more attractive, that's a lie. Brain damage or a lie. Okay, so look, we have her here and then we have her here. And of course, people are being called racist for not liking how she looks. But I think it's actually, I think supporting this is more, I mean, not necessarily supporting is more racist. Maybe there are some people who like it better. I have a hard time believing that they genuinely like it better. I think for a lot of people, it makes them feel better because the ones who do like it, because it's like, oh, I'm not threatened by a character on a screen. Like, I don't feel like it's not encouraging me to go to the gym. It's not encouraging me to clean up my diet. It's not encouraging me to be healthy. It's not encouraging me to shower and to try to look my best. So because of that, if I'm playing a game and every character is ugly, then I don't feel threatened about being lazy, about not caring about my own appearance. And I think that's what it is for a lot of people, especially when you look at what the gaming industry is run by. Of course, not everybody, but there is a lot more, those blue-haired land whales that we talk about, or the they, them, made-up genders, transgender, all of that. And so you have an influx of that. A bunch of, like, honestly, just really fat people. That's just where it's going because this fat movement, we should not be encouraging that. We just shouldn't. Fat people are still human beings, but should we encourage it? No. So because of that, I do think that is one reason why we're seeing a lot of this kind of stuff is that, okay, if other characters If the characters look bad, then we don't feel the pressure to look good. But on the racist topics, this tweet just hit the nail on the head, in my opinion. He says, she looks like one of those racist drawings. I don't know what this means. Would draw to make fun of minorities. But does she not, though? If you think about those old racist caricature drawings, does she not? It's like they took every stereotype, caricature, because people are like, oh, you're racist, you don't like her because she has African features, the full lips, the wide nose, all that. Well, the lips, it's not even just full lips, it's that her face is so narrow that her mouth is taking up a good 30% of her entire face. It's the mouth is huge, not just full lips. The mouth is gigantic. She has a horse face shape. You know what? This isn't a real person. Don't come at me. This isn't a real person. And if she's modeled after a real person, which I've seen, the real person looks so much better. So miss me with that. But they gave her a horse face. It's just extremely long, extremely narrow, so that her features, which already are dominant, look even more so because her face is so narrow. So yeah, it's making her look like a caricature. It looks ridiculous, and her eyes look squinty to boot, so it's not even helping balance it. It's like, let's just make the mouth the biggest feature to where it's covering most of her face. And so by giving her such beady little eyes and all that, and such a narrow and long face, it is making that mouth look like her whole face. And not only that, but look how she just looks angry. Look how she just, and that's another stereotype that Black women constantly face, is the angry Black woman trope. So that's exactly what's going on here. And so here we have, she has an avatar. I believe she's a Black woman, judging by her profile and her picture and everything. She goes, folks in my mention, she finally looks like a Black woman. Why can't Tanya look like an attractive, feminine Black woman rocking a sexy silk press? Why is it necessary to put locks in her hair? Y'all know nothing about Black women or our hairstyles. And she's right, because people who are going to complain about theirs or about the calling us racist and stuff like that are primarily going to be those white SJW types, right? I don't even think locks are bad, but the ones they gave her are ugly, you know? And also because of the fact that the character already had that silk pressed hair, had her hairstyle like this. That's another thing, is I feel like a lot of these video game companies, they feel like they're going to get backlash if they don't give their Black female characters the natural hair. And I do think the natural hair can be really beautiful. Like even look in this case, but just because they don't, like, women have a variety of different hairstyles, Black women too. Like some of them want the silk pressed hair, and that's fine. It's pretty. Look at this. This is pretty. And so Tanya here, that's how she had her hair. What's wrong with that? Why does that need to be changed? Why can't, and people who are obsessed with representation, why can't Black girls who want to get silk pressed hair, why can't they see a character that is pretty like that, you know? And I don't even think the whole representation argument, I think is that, like, you can find a bunch of my other videos talking about that, but still, as a whole, it's like when you're creating characters and a variety of different characters and in a fighting game cast and stuff, it's cool to see a variety of characters. But I just feel like Black women get the short end of the stick a lot when it comes to character design. And here they have a beautiful one and they had to uglify her. To me, that's more racist than wanting the character to look beautiful. Come on. How is it racist to want the character to look beautiful? And I was told the same thing whenever I made my video or tweets about the April O'Neil and the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. They made her fat and ugly. And I was like, dude, you know, I already think that the race swap shouldn't have happened, but if it is going to happen, why can't she be cute? Why can't she, like, you know, in this case, she's like a teenager. So why can't she just be adorable and look like that she would grow up into a very beautiful woman, gorgeous woman, you know? And I was called racist for that. I feel like black girls who are in this nerd space and they want to cosplay a character and they don't want to do a race swap cosplay, which I don't even think I think race swap cosplays can be fun and great. But if they want to cosplay as a character that they feel like they can actually do a very accurate interpretation of, sucks for them, because they're stuck with a lot of these ugly characters that they're deliberately making ugly that has nothing to do with race. It's just that they made them ugly because everybody knows there's plenty of beautiful black women out there. So here we have Brusque Poet who says, don't let Twitter gaslight you into thinking that you're racist for not liking Tanya's new design. Not liking her new design has nothing to do with her race unless someone is saying so, which I have seen, and that's wrong. White people stop virtue signaling challenge impossible. Excuse me. Well said. All right. So here we have somebody who's replying to Black Sage. Here, NetherRealm Studios really wants me to believe that this Count Dracula looking is Tanya. Boy, Mortal Kombat has completely fallen off. She looks like a dude I used to go to football practice with. She looks like one of those girls that be eating nothing but flaming hot chips and pickles for breakfast. She looks like she's gonna sell you bundles from the corner store. The F out of here. Tired of seeing game developers making women looking absolutely busted, right? So then this guy replies and goes, you keep deliberately sharing unflattering pics of the character. You keep saying your own race is ugly. They finally gave Tanya her ethnicity back, which is just completely retarded because it's not about, first of all, she's not even African. I believe she's some sort of like alien or something. I don't know the lore with all of Mortal Kombat and stuff, so I'm sure people in the comments can correct me because I'm sure I'm wrong. But I'm wrong on some things, but I do know from the comments that she's not African, so that already doesn't make sense. But even so, she's depicted as a woman that physically with what resembles a woman with African heritage, in this case. So, but even saying that, dude, he cherry picked the most flattering picture of this character. Don't even act like, well, obviously this is an unflattering photo, but all the screenshots of this character look hideous. And he cherry picked the best looking one, but even then it doesn't look good. She still has that horse face, right? And so I made this tweet here. All I did was and honestly, I would suggest changing more than just the face shape. But even if that's all you changed, she already looks a lot more feminine because her features match her face more. When her face is longer and more narrow, it's really making her mouth look gigantic, as I said before. And again, not about the thick lips. Thick lips are great, but it's that they made her mouth too big for her head. So that can happen with any race. People can have those features, but even so, like to that degree, that's not very common to have. Yeah. It'd be like if my eyes were closer and my face was like this. I don't know. I have a small mouth though, so it's different. But anyway, I wanted to close with this video from Mugen Lord. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I just found him because of this stuff, and his content, from what I've seen in this little clip, I just feel like was so well said. So I encourage you to check out his channel, because I know I'm showing his stuff here, but check out his channel for more. But I wanted to just share what he said here.
Maybe you can make an excuse and say it's just flat out incompetence, or maybe that the technology isn't there. But then you have to ask yourself, what about Japanese studios or Eastern developer studios and how they depict their women in video games? Because perfect example, Hideo Kojima in his studio, they mostly use motion capture technology to take real life people and put them into their fantasy worlds. And you look at the character named Quiet in the Metal Gear series, she looks exactly like her real life counterpart. You also look at the female characters in Death Stranding, they look just as feminine and attractive that you would see in their real life counterpart. Look at Devil May Cry, and also the male.
He makes some great points here. Yeah, and I like too that he highlights the male characters as well, because so many people want to call the misogynist card, but they don't want to see uglification of male characters either. These guys don't. I don't either. And again, it doesn't make us these Coomer brain pervs for wanting the characters to be nice to look at. It's just just like you would look at art or something. You like to look at things that are nice to look at. It doesn't mean this is some weird degenerate thing.
Characters look just as handsome and as attractive as their real life counterparts. So why is it when it comes to Western studios, they have this weird asphyxiation of just taking female characters and making them as hideous as possible, while when it comes to their male counterpart, they're either untouched, or when it comes to objectification, it's been cranked up a notch. And we're supposed to be completely fine with that?
So well said. Bravo. I encourage you to watch the entire YouTube video for that and check out his channel. So anyway, there you have it for today's video. Another character absolutely butchered, and yeah, and one that you're called racist if you don't like how she looks. Again, I feel really bad for the black girl nerds out there who keep getting these characters just butchered like this, or that they feel like, oh, what is that? Because what does that say? What does that say to black women? Oh, you're racist if you don't like how she looks because this looks like black women. That's saying that they think black women look ugly. That's why I don't get the argument. Same with April O'Neil. You're racist if you don't like how the new April O'Neil looks, or you're racist if you don't like how the new Tanya looks. That means that obviously they think black women are ugly, which is stupid. It's just absolutely not the case. So anyway, there you have it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to read your Bible today. I'll catch you next time, and in the meantime, go boom.